Yeah, I just messed the last video up. So I'm gonna try it again. Man, tough times in the city. Tough times in the city. This video is pretty sweet and simple. It's very factual and all that good stuff, man. Just gonna try to keep it what it's about and give y'all a real perspective, a real point of view. And some will agree, some will disagree. You know, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, what's going on, everybody? I was tagging everybody. That's what I was doing. But I missed a lot of names because I was tagging everybody. But what's going on? Larry, Maria, Amanda, Rex. Man, I think I seen Mr. Cassiano on there too. But let me tell y'all that. What's going on, Larry? We look forward to seeing y'all. We working on some things, man. Get this shit together. But I have not been dead to the world to Rob just hey, welcome back, brother. They paroled you out. Man, they had me on jail for 3 days, man. Maybe I said too much. I don't know. Rich, what's going on? Derek, Sam, Tim. I tell you what, Mr. Pike. Look. Okay, for sure, Maria. This is simple, but I think sometimes we overcomplicate it. I'm gonna tell y'all, I see so many posts, right? So many posts about, oh, is this a real American bully? Is this a real American bully? Is this a real American bully? And the truth of the matter is, very many people really even have strong ground on what they're saying. I'm going to tell you like this. There is no such thing as evolution. You know, the evolution and the progression of the breed and all these different things. That's a falsity. You know, it's a falsity that was made up by many people who couldn't stick to the standard. And I'm not just talking about American bully, but I'm talking about any breed. This is one of the reasons why if you go to the Frenchie community, they are definitely not going to agree with what we have done. You know, making Frenchies, 35, 40 pounds, Merles, Blues, Tries, this, that, and the other. They won't agree with it because this is not the way that you do a breed. The American bully standard was set, and I'm going to tell you one registry that I respect on the way they've done it is the BBCR. If you notice with the BBCR, they have not done a lot of tweaking to the standard since they jumped in the game about 10 years ago. It's a reason for that, because standards don't keep changing. If the standards keep changing, you never hit the target. And this is one of our biggest problems here. Know that, no one has the right, to just come in and say, you know what? Today I'm gonna say that this is what I feel like an American bully is. And you hear that. How many times do you hear that? You hear people say, I feel like an American bully is this. This is what I feel like the American bully is. This is what I feel like the American bully is. What's going on? T, Daryl, Marcel, I hate to break the hard factual news to y'all, but people who come into the breed don't have the right to change the breed. People who come into the breed don't have the right to say, oh, this is what I think. This is what I think. It's not what you think. It's what it is. I seen Oscar Gomez make a long post the other day, and it was very factual, even though you don't agree with it, even though you may have to throw in all the other hyperbole. And there, what's going on, wrong? The truth of the matter is, it's only one American bully. The American bully was, one dog. It was made to be one way. The standard, the reason why we fight the standard so much is because the standard exposes a lot of flaws that are in this community. The truth of the matter, going back to the beginning, is the American bully was, for the most part, it was Staffy and Pitbull. Now we can't. We definitely cannot account for what's going on, Jose. We can't account for the people who cheated. But exactly, Shane. These people's opinions don't matter. The dog was supposed to be pit bull Staffy. What's going on, Mark? This is why the traits of the dogs, the earlier dogs, it looked like that. You know. Now, what has happened since then is we went from dogs that looked like, you know, Remy and Monster and, you know, Cairo and, you know, those earlier dogs as the breed got popular to more bulldog style of dogs. Now, the whole thing of this, this is what I feel like an American bully is just you're full of shit. You can't change a breed. I can't go into the Frenchie world. We'll use them as an example and do what y'all did. Mr. Ramos, what's going on, brother? You know, when you change, if you go to a true Frenchie registry, it is what it is. It changes everything. A true Frenchie registry will tell you, they'll pull out a scale and weigh your dog on the spot and kick it out. You know what I mean? You know, the thing of it is Daryl, that's another myth. That's another myth. It's another myth that you can only have two breeds can't make a breed. That's not any real rule. Ask real dog people. It's not any real rule that two breeds can't make a breed. Because in actuality, when you look at the pit bull and the Staffy themselves, they're made up of multiple breeds. And if you look at the Labradoodle is recognized in a lot of places now as a breed, and it's two dogs. You know, you can have two dogs and come up with a different result and make a breed. The difference that when you make the breed, you have to classify what this breed looks like, what this breed is, and that is the standard. And this is where we failed to make it a breed. We haven't failed to make it a breed on any other level besides our inability to follow a standard and stick to it. This is the only reason why we failed. If you go back, and I'm going to use one of my favorites of all time, Remy, as a great example. You know what I mean? The truth of the matter is Remy, you know what I mean, I'll answer that, you know. People want to come on and debate. The funniest thing about it is look at Cody Goldsmith on this post right now is saying, so we supposed to create a different breed by only using a pit bull and a Staffy. Are they really a different breed? Well, in all actuality, it's arguable that the pit bull and the Staffy are the same dog, come from the same thing, but they're both recognized as their own breeds because you adopted certain qualities that made them their own breed. Now I digress. There is many, you know, the thing about these dogs and what characterized them to make them different is that these dogs were larger and they carried characteristics that the pit bull and the Staffy did not carry. Now, the actual look, if you looked at those dogs, you would see that those dogs looked exactly, in many ways, like the dogs that they said they come from, but they were exaggerated. They never looked bulldogish. It was no bulldog qualities to the American bully. There was none. This is the reason why the breed has went backwards, because people didn't understand the work that was being done. Now, if you talk to some of the OGs, if we want to call them OGs and different things like that, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, to argue, look, man, I'm going to tell y'all this from point blank. If y'all want a history lesson on every breed in the history of the world, then that's fine. We all know that the pit bull, any dog with a bull in his name, originates from bulldogs. The pit bull has a lot of secrets. The Staffy itself has a lot of secrets. It's a lot of secrets because it's a lot of breeders. And in the development of these breeds, you had that. But the one thing that you have, even when you saw the UKC take over the pit bull, when you saw the AKC start doing the Staffy, when you saw this, the reason why they were able to set themselves up and have their breeds is because they followed rules. Something that this community can't do, because we have a community of know-it-alls that care more about debating than getting to a conclusion that's great for all of us. And the conclusion that's great for all of us is to stick to the damn standard so it can be respected. The reason why we have 40 different looks in this community is because of what we see on a daily basis. Everybody turns into a damn Harvard professor about bulldogs, how the American bully was made and everything else, and they really don't care, you know what I mean, what the fuck else is being said or being taught to you. On a daily basis, I see people come on my post and decide to argue with me, totally discrediting the fact that even the God that y'all pray to half of the time, Dave Wilson, tells y'all I was very instrumental in setting the breed up. When Oscar Gomez, another very instrumental person in the breed, tells y'all that these dogs was not supposed to be a certain way, y'all still argue with him, even if some of y'all only been around 4 or 5 years. Y'all crown people who disrespect the breed, and it's very obvious. Y'all make excuses for every fucking thing, and this is why this breed is shitty. The inability to follow rules. It's like it's like a the truth matter is that it's like the what do they call that shit, participation trophies, where every kid, you feel like you're a winner, you feel like you deserve something just because you was there. And at the end of the day, what it boils down to is this is why the breed suffers. It's basic rules. We see dumb shit on a daily basis. Look, man, my boy hit me up and he told me he was about to post that video of Dax, right? And I told him, I said, that video gonna go crazy. He said, why you say that? I said, it's gonna go crazy. Because in this community, if you wanna start some shit, make people face the ugly truth. Make people face the ugly truth. You don't have to do anything. That video speaks for itself as to what kind of confirmation dog Dax was. But people get upset. You know why they get upset? Because their lie is exposed in video. The eyes are telling you exactly what everybody has been saying. Damn, Brian, for sure. Well, I'm going into the gym, so I just hit you up after this video. And that'd be the simplest way. But the truth of the matter is that, you know, the truth, man, that shit will cut you like a knife, man. And all these Dax heads and Dax this and Dax that, I will tell y'all some things, and I'm not going to argue with y'all about Dax. I'm going to tell you the facts about Dax. This is the true life facts about the dog. Even the dogs that y'all claim to be great, it's one thing that I noticed that y'all do that's very, 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 very good, along with the Dax program. Y'all do all front shots. The reason that most Dax breeders don't do side videos and side shots is because of the dogs that we've seen, the majority, especially direct Dax and doubled up Dax, and whether we talking about G-Train, like I told y'all what Dax son I really, really like. You know, that Lucky Luciano to me is the one that I think is the best example out of an American bully, period. Now, the rest of those dogs, if you look at them, they suffer from a lot of hip issues. They suffer from those high rears. A lot of them have met an early demise. And when I say early, you know what I mean? Yeah, front shots with feet covered. This is what it is. Nobody's hating. We telling you the truth on how to break down the dog. Y'all glorify a dog, and this is the funniest thing. Even the greatest of Dax heads. If I tell you, because y'all want to change the American bully breed because the ABKC already admitted that Dax was that whole Dax and extreme class was a failure. That's why they got rid of it. But y'all want to argue this. You're talking about a dog with nearly 4,000 puppies. Most of y'all would have a very, very hard time naming me 100, get this, 100 impact dogs off of Dax. Now, I know. Well, we know. We know it was a lot of hung papers on Dax too. That's been proven. But it is what it is. They'll argue with you about that. But y'all can't show me 100 impact Dax dogs. Now I'm gonna tell y'all this, and this is when you know I am very good at numbers. That's where my genius kicks in, literally. Now, if we talked about 1,000 out of this purported 4,000 puppies, right? 1,000. You know what I mean? Jesse, I laugh at that stuff, man. You know how I go. But now, if you take 1,000 out of 4,000, that's 25%. 25% is probably a solid number when you're talking about producing an impact dog out of litters. 25% of your kids, bam, that's incredible. But we're talking about 100 out of 4,000. That's 2.5%. You sire over 4,000 purported puppies, basically 4,000. Some say it's high 3,000, some say it's over 4,000, but we know it's a very high number. And y'all can't name me 100 badass dogs off this dog. That's 2.5%. 2.5% of your total studs, and you can't show me very, very high quality out of 2.5% of your dogs. That's a failure. Not only Now, that's the first part of the failure. But if we go into the fact of, which is not rumors, which is facts, the heavy hip issues, the early deaths from heart issues, and all the other issues, how do y'all feel like that this was a great thing? But the first thing y'all talk about is how much money y'all made in the process. Not that it destroyed the breed and what the breed was supposed to be about. Y'all want to change and say that this is the new big thing, but the new big thing is killing the breed. It's literally killing the breed. We gonna sit here and act like we don't know all of the issues that's going on with Rocco and his offspring? We gonna act like we don't know about that. We ain't gonna act like we didn't put up these dudes and they put it out there factually about the deafness, the blindness. The dog himself got structural issues, but y'all pushing that shit. Y'all don't want to stick to the standard. That's why the American bully is in the condition that it's in. Y'all failures become y'all opinions. Y'all pick, and then y'all state y'all opinions as y'all facts, because the actual failure in the beginning, you failed to make what the dog was supposed to be. You got a ton of OGs that tell you this is not that. You know what I mean? Me and John Easterly don't see head to head on a lot of things with the exotics and different things like that. But he told y'all what the dog was supposed to be. It was never supposed to be a bulldog. We all keep telling y'all that, but the guys who actually put in the footwork to bring this thing together, to push it towards being a breed, y'all, for whatever reason, feel like y'all entitled to argue with us about what the dog is. And then we have a sellout, you know, and Dave is that sellout. But I challenge y'all this. It's very easy to find on YouTube. Before Dave starts selling out, it's a lot of videos of Dave talking about that this dog was supposed to be a bigger version of the pit bull. Pit bull on steroids, very muscular, tight skin, you know, his whole description before he sold out. But then he started using the terms evolution. A breed does not go through evolution over a 10-year span. That's ridiculous. People got these deformed little dogs. Y'all got bulldogs. Y'all got all these things. And this is my thing where I really don't understand. This is what I don't understand. Y'all, why are y'all hanging on to the American bully name? I think the ABKC fucked the American bully up more than anybody in the world. You know, I'm gonna tell y'all this, and I'm gonna be 100% honest. A lot of y'all know this to be factual, but like I said, me and Dave was cool. Dave actually went live and told y'all that he wanted me to come over and help. And you know what fell apart about me going to help the ABKC? My thing was simple. Me and Dave had the conversation, and I told Dave flat out, the first thing I'll be doing is getting rid of a lot of people. And you know, and why would we do that, T? You got too much corruption. You got too many judges taking payments. You got too many people doing what they want, not following the rules. If I would have took over and I was the head guy and working with them, half of the judges would have been going right off the top. All that corruption, all that pick your friend shit, that shit would have been gone immediately. Next we would have been doing is we would have started banning a lot of the dogs with bulldog traits. Everything that was coming from that extreme class, including Dax at the time now, including Dax, everything that was coming from that, and y'all got to remember this was years ago, you know, before the Dax even spread even more. But everything was supposed to be cut. If it was an extreme dog and we agreed that the extreme class was a mistake, then any dog that fit into that extreme class, it's time to either, if they were a train wreck for the Rob, silly, we're gonna blame it all on Carolina Bully Farms. That's what the ABKC did. We were supposed to get rid of everything. Well, we already know about nationals being fixed, and that was we ain't gonna talk about that. People get in their feelings about that, but yeah, we know nationals been fixed for a few years now, you know. But what was supposed to happen is that, what's going on, Chewy? We were supposed to cut the fat, basically. We were supposed to get rid of all the serious issues with the flaws. Anybody that was suspected of corrupt activity, we were going to get rid of. We was going to do the getting rid of anybody who was corrupting the breed, basically. We were going to stick to the standard, actually tighten down on the standard. We was going to make more rules and enforce about the judges withholding ribbons and not giving any and every dog a ribbon. Now, this is the reason why today, if he would have did it then, when I said do it, you think about this, years ago, we didn't have so many champions with high rears. We didn't have so many dogs with broke tails. We didn't have so many, and these are champions, you know. We didn't have dogs with breathing issues that are champions and grand champions. We didn't have that. And because of the influx, what's going on, Trent? because of the influx of these, not just Dachs, but a lot of these so-called extreme dogs, and that were obvious bulldog mixes into what we originally did, where, let me say, 90% of us was sticking to the thing of pit bull staffy, and that was the true evolution of the breed. We were taking, if you talk to old breeders, they would tell you, we were taking some litters, you might only get 2 puppies that were actually American bullies. The rest of them were pit bulls. You know what I mean? You could take them straight to the UKC. It was no problem. But we would take the best of the best and continuously go higher and higher and higher and higher until we got exactly what we wanted. This is why if you look back at some of the older dogs and you be like, well, why don't we see such and such litter mates? And why don't we see this dog's litter mates? Because the litter mates were trash. But this was part of what we were doing as we built this breed. That was selective breeding. You taking the ones that are too big, that fit what we want to do, and you holding on to them. But people used to always complain and say the edge blood will throw you terriers. You know why? Because before the corruption of Bashar and all these other people adding bulldogs into the edge blood would throw you terriers because they still were terriers. That's how the selective breeding worked. We would have these breedings, and you literally only get 1 or 2 dogs that was American bullies. Literally, only 1 or 2 dogs would come out American bullies. Those were the 2 you took, and so on. We would go to the next level. We would take those 2, we would get some more. We would take those 2, we would get some more. Sometimes you would get 1, sometimes you would get none. The litter didn't pop out, but we hit a certain point to where the dogs that we were taking was starting to stack a pedigree of certain characteristics, and more they were starting to throw the characteristics that we wanted. But it took time. It took breeding after breeding. Dave talked about it, where we're not gonna lie, a lot of us was puppy milling. It was a lot of litters. It's a lot of Razor's Edge, Hall of Fame, you name it. It's a lot of Razor's Edge, Elite Edge members, pit bulls out there. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It was a lot of them. It was a lot of the dogs that we had that was just, and I mean, we didn't throw them away. We didn't kill them. They was in pet homes and shit like that, That's how I got, several UKC pit bull champions up under my belt. They were nice dogs, but they didn't fit what we were trying to do. But that's why y'all, and that's funny because you remember when Dachs was going strong, that was the thing, you know what I mean? It was what it was, It was what it was, man. We, and trying to really get this breed together and the popularity that it took, we almost had the puppy mill because it was a few of us that had the dogs, and it was a great like demand for the dogs. Everybody wanted to get their hands on a bully. We trying to make bullies to try to get it up. So we did a lot of breedings back then. Now it's enough stock that you don't have to do those breedings. But it was set. I mean, you think about it, and I call it the bully heyday. When you went into there and you got to the point to where you had Pokemon, you had Rockzilla, you had Tonka, you had Hallie, you had Paco, Remy, it was a nice collection of dogs that set the standard through a generation. Toxic was another one. Hef was another one. You go through those generations. Chris from AAO had a bad bitch named Devious. The bar was set. It didn't have to be tampered with. It was a point where these dogs never resembled bulldogs at all. They just didn't have a bulldog look about them. You know what I mean? You still had guys who was pushing out shit. You go to Eddie from Blue Line's page, and all his dogs still look the same because he ain't changed shit. Just some giant ass pit bulls. They don't look like American bulldogs. They look like American bullies. He still call them pit bulls because he can't stand Dave, so he would never go with that. What's going on, Shaka? Bobo. But the funniest part about it is that so many people felt entitled to come in here and basically, change what we did and take over our breeding. Y'all talking about this is what it's supposed to be. Man, dude, you've been around 3 or 4 years. How you gonna tell us? Myself, I know 23 years, almost 24, somewhere in that area, of doing these dogs and working towards something. Now all of a sudden you gonna come in and just tell us the whole thing. It is what it is. The truth of the matter is I'm just being realistic with y'all. I gave y'all the situations about Dachs. It is what it is. And the next topic I want to truly address is y'all with this excuse to change the breed and to add more bulldog, as y'all say, when there shouldn't be any bulldog, and y'all should be being patient and creating, a bully or dog through the process. But the funniest part about this thing is, I've heard this a million times about Dax. Oh, he's a great tool. 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 Y'all say that about, Rocco can be a great tool. Can be a great tool. Let me help y'all out. Let me help y'all out. If you're going to get a tool, don't you want to get a tool that works? And this is why the whole term tool is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And I'm going to tell y'all, don't be offended if y'all have used the term tool. But this is the stupidest thing about a tool, right? There's no dog on the face of the earth, well, let's just say no American bully, that has characteristics that no other dog has. So there's truly no excuse for you to go and choose a dog that has major flaws and issues to get one characteristic. It is the dumbest thought process that I've ever heard of. Many of y'all, I've heard this shit so much. Oh, Dax, he got that neck. So really, you're going to trade trying to get a neck to have heart issues, to have bad hips, to have a high rear. And then you got to go generations to breed it out. My man Chewy is got a very nice bitch, and he's been breeding it out forever. You know what I mean? It is. I mean, Rocco versus Mandela. I don't think it's a competition. I like Rocco's look, you know what I mean, but he's not an American bully. Now, if we go in confirmation, Mandela has a beautiful top line. Rocco doesn't. Mandela's rear is even. Rocco's is high. Mandela's tail is intact. Rocco's is a kink tail. Mandela moves pretty effortlessly. Rocco has a hitch in his movement, probably due to the rear end and the slanted back. And if we go into facial features, although Mandela is looser than I like, he looks more the part of an American bully than Rocco does. If we put ears on Rocco, he's basically an American bulldog. Rocco is an impressive dog, but he's not an American bully, and he's not a show dog. I've said this many times, when I seen Rocco, I was like, oh, that's a cool ass dog. He's got a cool look to him. But if we're talking about American bully, he's not an American bully. It's just that simple. Many people always want to compare my dogs and this, that, and the other. I'm not even totally satisfied with Mandela, but I tell you what, yeah, Hatomi's got a huge neck, and when her and Mandela get together, ouch, ouch. But it's the thing of it is, to me, Mandela looks better. Y'all ask me this question, and y'all expect me, Mandela looks better, Ruger looks better, because to me, I'm a true dog man. I can't say a dog looks better and I see a high ass rear. I can't say a dog looks better and I see a slanted down back. I can't say a dog looks better and he's got a kink tails. There's levels to this shit. Y'all come with the most elementary, level to dogs that I've ever seen, where y'all think because a dog is big that's good looking. That ain't good looking, man. I'm gonna tell you that. I operate totally differently with dogs. I operate off of structure and the whole entire package. I operate off of temperament and the whole entire package. You know what I mean? Y'all got all this praise for Rocco, man. The dog got to be drug around the ring, and he's got 5 very noticeable flaws, but yet and still y'all pumping the dog up like he's something great. That dog doesn't even belong in the show ring. Let's just be realistic. Just like Mr. Beans didn't belong in the show ring. But we've lowered the bar of what a show dog is so bad in the American bully ring that you can put a ferret in that motherfucker, and if he bully enough, that ferret got a chance to win. It's sad. You know what I mean? Our community is that sad that we've gotten to the point that we will accept anything. From what I've seen, I like Shamrock, but I've never seen him in person. And some people tell me some things about his structure, but I've never seen him. My favorite American bully is still Mufasa. I think without a question, my favorite American bully is Mufasa. And I think the proof is in the pudding. The dog that dominated supposedly the best of the best dogs until politics got involved at nationals. And, Mufasa dominated every class he went into. He's just a big dog. He encompasses what an American bully is. Tighter skin, a little bit looser in the face. You would hope to tighten that up. But, his movement is great. Very, very powerful. Tons of muscle. great angles, little things here and there that we might want to tweak. But for the most part, Mufasa to me is incredible. He is absolutely incredible. I seen the dog. Like I say, I don't get paid to say Mufasa is this or that or the other. Hit up Val, See Bad Bullies, Walter. But Mufasa is what an American bully is. Big, got the attitude, got the structure, got the movement. If I had went down the checklist, I'm gonna tell you, I like the bear, but I still like Mufasa better than the bear. Mufasa is, he's a beast. He's a beast. I come from a generation where we don't like lap dogs. I ain't putting no dog on no table, man. I like me a big ass dog. Even my pockets need to be big. For forever, Denzel was just too small for me. That's why, I went to Mandela. I've produced tons of pockets. Y'all see some of them. I post them up. People are doing good with some of my smaller pockets, and that's what they like. And I like them, but I needed more size. That's why I'm integrating Mufasa into my program, and some of the females that I bought, just like the one that Adam just brought up, Hatomi, a big girl, tons of neck, tons of muscle. So I throw that to Mandela, possibly a Mufasa, or mix some of that blood in there where she's already got some Excalibur blood, and you make a next generation dog. To me, it ain't nothing more impressive than a pocket that has true size and substance and still can move with perfection. See, this is the art of it, and this is what I keep trying to get people to understand. It's an art to this shit, man. It's an art form to this. Stable stack. Hey man, it's an art form to this. We done got to the point where big, man. I'm telling you what, you could have a dude standing at 6 foot, 275, and you stand him next to a guy, 6 foot 235 that's chiseled, and it's two different worlds. It's two different worlds, It's two totally different worlds. We have forgot the art that we're here for. We're not here to create a bulldog. And this is what I was going to earlier, and I know I jump all around, you know what I mean? But well, see, hey, don't tell him nothing, Will. Don't tell him nothing about that girl. She a bad bitch. The thing that I say is that I don't understand why like exotic extreme people hang on to the name American Bully. Y'all should be liberated in a lot of ways, where if you breeding that extreme stuff like what Bashar is doing and all that shit, don't just use the American Bully name as a promotional tool. You don't have an American Bully. James Calca came right out and showed y'all the bulldogs that Bashar was mixing into his stuff. And I mean, we know about the DNA test that didn't come back right and all this other bullshit, So if you gonna my power getting lower. But if you gonna like basically disrespect the breed, why don't you make your own breed? I told George that with Miyagi years ago. Miyagi is a piece of shit. Miyagi's elbows literally pop out of the socket. The original Miyagi. Now we down to Miyagi 38. Ain't no telling. He might have got his elbows fixed. I see he got a motherfucking hoodie and a tri-coat now. So we don't know, And but that's the best thing to do. The exotic community should stick strictly to the exotic name and cultivate the exotic name. The only reason why the exotic will never truly, right now, it's like a Ponzi scheme. The exotic a lot of people is buying them, but I already run into people who getting out of them because they cost too much and they won't live. So if in order for the exotic to truly thrive, nobody cares about the price. It has to get healthier. Some of y'all got healthy dogs. A lot of y'all got some shit going on. And we get stuck in our minds that our community is so big, but the bully community is a speck in the overall dog world. And the one thing about the one thing that's keeping us to reaching the overall dog world is the lack of respect that people have for us for the type of dogs we have. Our dogs just aren't, man, hey, Smooth, it's about 5 Miyagis. My boy actually I don't know if that was Nate to put that. No, that wasn't Nate to put that together. That was the crazy dude. Damn, I forget his name. But he put together a thing, a panel of Miyagi pictures, right? And it showed the difference of like 6 dogs. It wasn't the same dog. And if y'all don't remember this, see, that's the best way, Mello. Just, that people have to, you have to differentiate. That's where the confusion comes in. A lot of exotic breeders still hang on to the American Bully name, which is weird, because it's an obvious difference. But when they put that panel up, right, of all these pictures, a big argument got started. And y'all probably heard me say this before, but God rest his soul, Ed Shepherd jumped in the conversation. OG Ed. God rest his soul, man. We had some good ones. But Ed actually came out and said, like, I bred the Miyagi. That's not Miyagi. And that's not me. Oh, God. It was so hilarious because I think Ed had jumped in on a conversation and he thought he was doing like a service. Mr. Royale, what's going on? He thought he was doing a service to the cause by telling them that wasn't Miyagi. But then the people actually, at something I never thought I would see happen a day in my life, that community turned on Ed. Like, oh, Ed, you hate. This shit was crazy. But Ed was just telling the truth that this was not the dog that they said it was. Man, they jumped on Ed's shit, man. They jumped all over Ed's shit. I said, fuck, poor Ed, man. Now they on Ed's ass about this shit. And it was very, very true, true to form of what they do typically, man. I mean, we know, and this is one of the things that is crazy to me, and the reason why Miyagi is banned. But for us to know that dog has been changed that many times, and for his owner to admit that he used French Bulldog and all these other bulldogs, I mean, realistically, what registry can have a real excuse for allowing that into the American Bully gene pool? You sound like the most hypocritical person on the face of the earth when you say I'm here to protect the American Bully, bloodlines and the integrity of the American Bully, and you say all these things, but then you're allowing Miyagi into it when the guy is probably the biggest cheater in the history of the breed. He's the one that you can say very factually, he's the biggest cheater in the history of the breed. But he doesn't care. It got to the point where he was just like, basically, F all y'all, I do what I want, don't worry about me, I got this. And he did it. But we're going to allow that in. We knew what was going on with Bullseye right off the top, right? And we didn't care. We chose to, first we banned Bullseye because we said it was wrong, but then once the money got strong, Bullseye was okay. There is nothing else but one American Bully. When you think of the American Bully, you can think of a Remy, you can think of a Paco, you can think of a Monster J, There's very, very good examples throughout the breed history that you can think of. And instead of talking evolution, we should talk refinement. Now, if you take a Remy and you're able to put 20 pounds on Remy, more muscle, a little wider, bigger head, very good conformation, that's refinement of the breed. You take a Paco and you make small little changes to him, maybe make him a little muscular, a little more wider, whatever you're going to do, Take a dog like Denzel and make him a little bigger, tighter feet, tighter skin. That's refinement of the breed. You don't change the whole entire breed. That's like when I talk about Mandela. I talk about refining Mandela. When those who have seen Mandela know, as far as Bully goes, he doesn't have a problem with Bully. The things that I don't like about Mandela is my type of dog should have a very, 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 very tight skin. And his skin is not very tight. He's got some lines where he wrinkles up in his face a little bit. And I don't like that. So, that's part of the refinement. And his rear end, although he has a beautiful top line and his structure is very solid, he's got a slight angulation inwards in his rear end movement. It's slight, and it's something that a judge would let pass, but I see it, and as a breeder, I want that shit straight up and down. I'm looking for perfection. And these are things that that we have to work on. We should be refining the American Bully breed instead of talking about evolution and bringing in more problems. I've had many, I mean, I've said that he could have been started his own breed with Miyagi. That's fine, but it's not an American Bully. All Miyagi dogs don't look like Miyagi either, by the way, Mark. That's another big secret in the American Bully community. The Miyagi bloodline, they do a good job at this. They do a good job at advertising. Now they've gotten better over the years, but I can show you some Pit Bull Terrier Miyagis. Yep, I can show you some Pit Bull Terrier Miyagis, but the one thing that he did is he wouldn't even paper sometimes dogs that didn't have his look. And when the looks started getting bad, why do you think that's why he brought the French Bulldog in? Because he found out that the French Bulldog could throw that look. So he went on ahead and threw that Frenchie in. But that's why he was mixing other dogs in, because in his earlier part, all the dogs didn't look like Miyagi. Some of them did, but the ones that didn't, they hid him. They got rid of them. Oh, that ain't shit. Let's get them out of here. But we've seen some of them. I seen a very nice Miyagi daughter down here in, where was that at? One of these Florida cities. Man, beautiful. The dog was beautiful, great angulation, a lot more terrier. Didn't really truly have the Miyagi look. Only thing that was wrong with the bitch is she had a short tail. What do Miyagi's mom look like? That was always a hell of a story. They got pictures and shit of her, but it was always that idea of, is that really his mom too? That whole debate is one that's going to forever be a part of American bully history, because the mom was supposedly died. And you said pit bull? The dog was all the way terrier, Belinda. I'm talking about all the way terrier. But sometimes when you put bad genes to good genes override. Now Major is one of the most beautiful dogs I've seen with that blood in it, but that's that's the anomaly of it. Major has one of the best top lines I've seen on any dog, but you have the anomaly. It doesn't mean that you can't get lucky every now and then, but if you try to run that shit on the big basis, you're gonna come up with a lot of problems. The thing of it is, Mark, I'm not here to debate with you, but, if you saw the majority of his dogs, you saw a lot of dogs, because even now, George is saying that Miyagi has several thousand puppies. I've seen a lot of them that look like him, but not every dog looks like Miyagi. I've seen a lot of them, especially in the early parts. He had some, Well, the proof is not Revy. I'm gonna tell you why. Everybody always brings up Revy. Danny is my partner and one of my good friends. And when I was on the phone, I was on a 3-way call with Dave Wilson and Danny from Rhode Island. And the thing of it is that Danny, agreed we can test Revy against Miyagi. This was all the way back in like 2011, 2012. And the thing was to test Miyagi against Revy to prove that they were brothers, since the mom was dead. We're going to prove that these two is litter-mate brothers. And then I heard it right out of Dave Wilson's mouth. And this is one time I can vouch for Dave. He said that then, and he was going, I didn't get the conversation with George, but he was going back to George. And the deal on that is that if George was willing to run the test against Mr. Miyagi's supposed littermate brother, you know what I mean? It's just Mark, I know what you're saying, bro, but I'm telling you, he's got thousands of offspring. He's got a lot of dogs that look like him. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying every single one of his dogs didn't look like him. He didn't look like him. The original Miyagi was a bigger dog than the dogs that he's producing now. Now that look in the face, a lot of that look in the face comes from the G2 blood. So it might get some resemblances in the look in the face, but a lot of his dogs weren't, That's just, it ain't hating on the dog. It's just the truth, that's why it was some experimenting with the dog. This was one of the big issues. But what's going on, Douglas? One of the things about the brother is that, I agree with Mark in the fact that he had a lot of dogs that looked like him. And I told him years ago, you can start your whole own breed and do your own thing, mix a little Frenchie here and there into the dogs and keep that look and kill it. But, he wanted to do other things. He wanted to be crazy, really. And, I tell you, anyone got a true photo of the real Miyagi? There's photos out there where you can see the difference. Shit, I told you they put up a whole board of the old Miyagi, but Dave used to talk about that. The old Miyagi wasn't even like a 13, 14-inch dog. He wasn't that small. That dog wasn't that small. That dog didn't have white paws either. That dog wasn't no try either. It's a lot of things that's going on. Oh yeah, I feel you, Larry. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Larry is 100% right. He would not DNA test to prove that was his brother. You know what I mean? Exactly, Mark. He was 17. He was in that area. He was damn near right around the size of Little Row. And I tell you, now how is he a 12-inch dog? You know what I mean? How is he, you know what I mean? How is he 13 inches, 14-inch dog? It's crazy. But we allowing this blood into our bloodstreams. We allowing this into the blood pool. You know, I'm going to say this before you know, that dog been dead, Josh Gross. That's why they keep replacing him. But, you know, like I said, he had his chance to prove it. He wouldn't prove it. Later on, he went on with the lies, and he knew it was the lies. Yeah, he got caught. It was right there in writing where he was admitting that he was using miniature bulldogs and Frenchies and all kind of stuff in his blood, you know. So, you know, I mean, nobody cares about his money. Now, y'all always come with that he got a bad. I'm talking about a breed, man. Yeah, he got money from ripping people off and lying about his dogs. Great. You know what I mean? That's basically what he did. He could have created a breed and been honest about it. You know, it's a lot of people. I met a brother down in Florida who blew $300,000 because none of the dogs would live. Literally bought a ton of dogs from dude, and none of them lived past 3 years old. So I mean, if that's something to be proud of, that a guy, you know what I mean? A guy, you got a guy for $300,000 on a bunch of dead dogs, and it is what it is, you know. You know, his papers is pulled in my registry, but the ABKC originally pulled his papers. Now they allow the stuff, you know. And I mean, we just see a lot of people who don't care about, you know, a lot of people just don't care about the flaws. A lot of people don't care about the issues. A lot of people don't care about anything, you know what I mean, that's detrimental to this breed, as long as, you know, like we just seen somebody bragging, talking about, oh, he got some money up out of it. You know, stupid shit. This is why our breed is what it is, man. Because people care more about trying to get rich off of dogs than they do to actually going out and making a better dog and a better product. It's really, really sad when you think about it, that, you know, you got these grown men and women that's willing to breed unhealthy dogs, you know what I mean, and watch these dogs suffer and die because they too lazy to go out and get a real fucking hustle. It's pathetic, you know. I don't even blame a person who's breeding dogs, and they might make that their profession, but at least put the dog's health and longevity first, man. That shit can't be that hard, you know what I mean? Yeah, no, it won't be no Miyagi with dealing with us, you know. It's just sad, you know. Miyagi, Bullseye, when you know, man, Jason, we all over the board, man. Talking Miyagi, Dax, disrespected the breed, everything else. But, you know, when it comes down to it, is the reason why this shit will never go in the direction it's supposed to go in some avenues. It's going to go this way around me. But, you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It be what it be, man. You know what I mean? Chris Block, you can get off my post, period. Like I said, you done tried millions of times. Like I said, I ain't gonna even go into your real situation on how you lied about, oh, send that semen anyway. They gonna make up a big ass story. You know, it's clowns on every avenue. Like I say, another one bites the dust. You know, but when it comes to, what about Magoo dogs? Man, I'm mixed emotion, because I see some Magoo dogs that I like. I think Nan Bai is trying to do some good things with Magoo. I think Nan Bai is really trying to do. Nan is doing some things to where he's even pulling the sheets off of a lot of fraudulent ass breedings and stuff that went down, and a lot of the lies that a lot of Magoo's kids just aren't Magoo's. Let's just be realistic. I told y'all about the dog Mango and all that shit, and the DNA test that was flunked there. There's been several other DNA tests that was you know what it is. Now the TBKC is based off of the true standard, not what I like. It's based off the true standard, what we created. I will reiterate, I helped create the structure for the breed. I was a part of the original Elite Edge. The pocket standard is written off of my girl Hallie and Paco. So I do know something about this breed. I've judged this breed internationally, all over. I know the American Bully. It ain't about what I like, it's about what it is. What the TBKC is about is following true to the standard. That's all. And the saddest part about this is no matter which way I say that, it's always somebody who want to try to make a slick comment. It's always somebody who want to try to debate. It's always somebody who want to try to argue. It's no argument. Either we gonna do it the right way or we're not gonna do it. It's just that simple. We don't have no problems. You know, the first show when John was judging, John kicked several dogs out the ring. I kicked several dogs out the ring. You know what I mean? I ain't never showed BRC. You know, once I start seeing exotics, man, I went away. You know, I don't have nothing against the BRC, and I've seen that I really like the way that Robert Ellis judges. And no. I never judged for the BRC. But I don't have nothing against them. I just, you know, I tend to want to stay away from registries with exotics, you know, because just to see them little unhealthy mugs at the same show, it seemed like it's a contradiction of us preaching health, you know. But the BRC, I love the way some of their, I see the show results. And the one thing I can say about the BRC is I haven't seen a dog that makes me shake my head and just say, damn, that was just shameful. You know, it is what it is, you know. I know, you know what, Mello, as far as the exotics go, and y'all bear with me because I think I'm down to my last little bit of power. But, you know, the thing about the exotics is, I think, Mello, I see your dogs, and I'm being honest, I'm not saying that because I talk to you. Your dogs look different. Your dogs look to be a lot healthier, a lot different from a lot of the things I see. You know, I seen June put up a very nice puppy the other day. Some of the dogs is good. I think the exotic fight is going to be rough. And the thing of it is the thing I think that I know that not, I've said that a million times. I know that not all exotics are bad. You know, Danny has some dogs that would be considered exotics that can take cold weather, hot weather, run all around. But the reason why it's going to be rough is y'all battling like a 9-to-1 battle. Y'all got some dudes who really in it to win it, and y'all got some dudes who just doing anything. Where you see, you know, some of the shit that I put up recently where the dog's foot was literally turned and they got the elbow. I mean, that's going to be the hardest part, Mello, because y'all battling. For every one breeder who really trying to make it the right way with exotics, it's 9 other ones who like, man, I don't give a shit. I got to get this money. I got to do what I got to do. That is rough. I say in the American bully world, we in a battle of about 4 to 6. You know, we sort of losing, but our battle is close. The exotic battle, y'all got an uphill battle like a mug, because y'all got some cats over there who would have no ethics. Y'all will put up a dog and them bitches be turned all the way in crazy. You know, would I ever own? No, I would never own an exotic. It's not my style of dog. Same thing with the, now Shorty Bull is a healthy dog, and I still don't really want a Shorty Bull either, you know. You know, and that's what I tell. I always say the same thing when I talk about exotics. Mellow, you know what I mean? Like I said, June, the cats who really trying, man, nothing but respect. And I mean that wholeheartedly. But it's just going to be such a hard battle because the other clowns just totally embarrass the whole dog world with some of the shit that they putting out there and some of the things that they doing. They just don't care. And that's going to be the hardest part for the exotic people who trying to clean it up. I root for the exotic people. I really do. Because I feel like if all the dogs is healthy, that's better for the whole entire community and anything associated with it. But I just think some of these people, some of these exotic dudes is off the charts, man. You see some of that shit they put up and they like, nah, did you really think that was cool to put up, man? You know? You know, but like I said, Danny's had some up there that run around and move around. You know what I mean? I just my main thing is always great confirmation and healthy dogs. You know, it's the reason why even on this page we cut down a lot of the drama. You know, we get suckers out off of the page left and right. We get guys off of the page that, you know, liars, attention getters, women who want to be super full of drama. We getting them all out of there because we want to be a dog community. You know what I mean? Now, I think if you do Miyagi blood to Edge blood, you can clean up a lot of things, but it won't be an American bully. You know, you'll get a nice dog. I've seen examples of nice dogs doing that, but at the end of the day, you know, it's still not an American bully. We have to follow rules, just like, you know what I mean? You can breed I told y'all this a million times. You can breed a Rottweiler to a Doberman. Some of the puppies are going to look like Roddy. Some of them are going to look like Dobermans, but neither of those puppies are a Roddy or a Doberman. And that's an example of dogs that look just alike. We have to get to the point where we can follow rules that strictly. You know, not that it almost looks like it, so we can call it. No, it's all about the health, confirmation, and us taking it to a new level. I mean, honestly, the way I think is sort of different than the rest of the community, than a lot of people in the rest of the community, let me say that, is because my vision is for us to compete against the best dogs in the world. I feel like, honestly, I want to see the American bully, you know what I mean, clean up, you know, to the point where we can compete with anything. You know, edge blood, because, you know, really the edge blood was a lot of gaff blood, a lot of well-bred, you know, a lot of well-bred stuff. You know, Dave collected a lot of good blood when he was starting out with the edge, and as we came in to help out, we all was collecting very, very good blood that is very, very well-bred as far as structure and health. That's why the edge blood cleans it up. You know, I mean, to be honest with you, Dave probably only put together like 3 generations, and everybody else took over, you know. You know, that's why all the edge dogs is from other camps. You know, Dave did his small part, but we killed it, you know. But I mean, honestly, my whole everything is strictly about health, you know, health and confirmation. You put Miyagi to Remy, you're gonna make a solid dog, because Remy clean up a lot. Now, I don't know about the hips, because Remy's dad had bad hips, and a lot of Miyagi dogs get hip issues too, so you might be doubling up on a bad gene. But you know, the thing is I've seen like I told y'all, you asked me, some of y'all be shocked. I like the way Rocco looked. I think Rocco is a nice looking dog. Is he a good confirmation dog? No, not at all. Is he American bully? No, not at all. But if you ask me, is he a good looking dog, I would say yes. You know, but it's a difference. And that's the thing that our community has to understand, is just because we like something doesn't mean it's good, you know. It's just that simple, you know what I mean? Just because we like something, that doesn't mean it's a good show dog. That doesn't mean it's a good representation of the breed. And our goal is to find good representations of the breed and healthy dogs, you know, not in that order. But that is our main goal. Our goal can't be to do anything other than what we've done, you know. At this point in time, you know, now, I mean, you know, I'm facing the reality that, you know, windows is closing for me and my program, and you know, and the winds are changing. You know, some of the older dogs are on their way out, and some of the newer dogs is coming in. And as a responsible breeder, my main thing is that we have to, you know, we have to do it. Christina, I think that was Christina that said that. I hope your daughter get into to Westminster one day. And that's, honestly, I would love to see that, you know. But that's what I'm saying. In order for us to compete, you may, hey, Robert, I'm with you. Fuck exactly. But hey, in order for us to all the dogs in this bully community, in order for us to be taken seriously, we have to create dogs that can compete at the highest level. Like, have you ever, I mean, if you see the AKC dogs and you see the UKC dogs, it's levels to this, and we're nowhere close to that level. And I say we. And don't y'all ever think that I'm talking down to you. I'm not. My dogs are not to that level, but we have to strive to have that level, you know. Kathy said, you want a puppy? I got one. I'll send it to you today. That's probably a badass puppy. But you know, this is what we have to do. You know, you got kids dreaming of going to Westminster, man. You know, we got kids going. You know, it's funny that you say that, Christina, because my little guy, what's going on, Mr. Miller? I'm gonna be with you by Friday so we can get some more dates set. I got to get with you. I got to get with Jose. We gonna get some more dates set, man. We got to keep this ship moving. But you know, my little guy, he doesn't quite understand what Westminster is, but when he watched the dog show, you know what I mean, that's his thing. You know, we was watching Westminster, and he's like, hey, daddy, I'm gonna take Denzel. I'm like, Denzel's old. Okay, I'm gonna take Mandela. I'm gonna take Mandela, you know. And it's great to see that passion come from the kids that they gonna do it. But we have to understand, as we whatchamacallit, Kathy ready to get rid of the damn puppy. As we go, hey, Hen, I'm working on it, man. It's been a struggle, but I told you, I keep missing you. I got a plan, though. I got a plan to get you a couple of them. But, you know, the thing of it is, man, it's our job to have the kids with something that they can chase down them dreams, that they can chase down the dogs, you know, that's on TV on a different level. They love their bullies, but in a lot of ways, and not to be too, you know, over the top with that, but y'all think about it. The dogs that we produce now, if you have kids, your program is going to be handed over to your kids. If y'all kids is anything like my kids, they develop a passion for these dogs. Why produce shitty dogs for the next generation? You know? You know, why produce shitty dogs for the next generation? Skip Miller over there breeding alligators, y'all. Don't go to his house. He literally got alligator. What the that tell y'all know Skip know a whole damn lot about dogs that he didn't got so bored with dogs he didn't went to alligators. But I tell y'all what, man, this is it, because I'm blinking, man. I think I'm down to 5% power. I'm just gonna say this, man. I hope I put this on y'all mind, man. Instead of arguing about the small, about all the BS that goes around this breed, man, let's come together and really, really manifest our dog into something that can be incredible. You know, the dream is out there, but let that dream manifest. You know what I mean? To come to be a dog that we can compete at the highest level. TBKCdogs@gmail for all y'all. I've been on it. I've been doing 3 things at once. But TBKCdogs@gmail if you're interested in hosting a show, or if you know where it's a good spot for a show at out there, send me those spots, please. I'm working, as y'all see. I'm working. We will have 3 dates announced for the Jersey show. By Friday she's supposed to get back with me and confirm, and then we, you know, Florida is already there, but I want to get them lined up so they're not crisscrossing each other. But yeah, you know, hey, Chris, Preston, y'all send me some locations and we'll start making it work. But as I was saying, man, let's push our breed to the point that we can go into anybody's house and win. You know, very, very fast. One of the things with the TBKC, and we haven't talked about in a long time, was the Invitational. The Invitational will end up being our second biggest show of the year. The Invitational is dogs that come in. Keith, we got to talk. Dogs that come in from other breeds that are not a part of our registry, but you might see a Pharaoh Hound, one of my favorite dogs, a Clumber Spaniel. You know, some of the best breeds in the world, and we invite these people in. We actually get them to come in, and just for one time we get a judge that doesn't do anything with our registry, and our dogs get a chance to compete against championship level dogs from other breeds that compete at high levels. And there's nothing but in fun, and it'll be a lot of charity stuff that goes along with it. That's what'll make the Invitational fun. But it's also a thing where we get to gauge where we're at. It'll be fun to see our dogs go in there and show against some of the best dogs in the world from other breeds and other registries, with a judge who's totally bipartisan, you know, that doesn't have any connections to any of us. He's just looking at structure and movement, or she's just looking at structure and movement. This is our goal, man. Our goal is not to compete inside of this small train wreck community. Our goal is to compete against the world and make dogs that we can beat the world. And I hope y'all on that mission with us. We got some great people, as y'all seen. You know, Skip Miller is in the house. You know, Belinda King Moore is in the house. You know, my man Jose Barone was on here. Danny Navoa. You know, we've got the backing of some of the people that y'all don't even know we got backing of. But we got a lot of good people who want to see this thing go the right way. And it's gonna be a big year, man. So I hope y'all just keep, you know, we ain't here to argue with people who want to have screwed up dogs. Hey, Mark over there putting together some heat. But yeah, we ain't here to argue. Hey, Mark, send me some pictures. But we're not here to argue with people who want to have train wrecks, man. We just here to educate the world that that's not the way it's supposed to be. Y'all let them do the arguing. Y'all let them make themselves look foolish. Y'all let them be the ones who can't follow a basic standard that describes what your dog is supposed to be. We need people who go out and set the example of what the dogs are supposed to be. Oh, okay, Mark. Okay. I see you. Yeah, I'm doing a little something too. But I'm going to jump off here, man. It's time for me to do what I do and hit these weights. Belinda, I'll be calling you. And I got to call Brian. And I got to call everybody, man. Hey, Mark, you know what it is. Hey, let me know. All right, now, I'll holler at y'all later, man. As I always tell y'all, this time of year is the worst time of the year. I almost forgot. Check in on your family. This is the highest rate of depression and suicide. Man, call your family. If you ain't talked to them a while, just let them know you love them, but check on them. They might want to vent and talk your ear off, but that's a good thing, because a lot of people is going through a lot of things, man, and we need to take care of each other, check on our people. You never know what that phone call and a little bit of encouragement or prayer might do for somebody, might stop them from doing something horrible to themselves. Until next time, much love, y'all. Peace.